Hello, and welcome back to What Do You Think, where we discuss controversial topics that may affect the viewers at home. Hello, I'm Tobias Mooreshead.
And I'm Peaches. And Cream. Today's trending topic is late-term abortions. Now, Tobias, what are the facts behind LTAs?
Well, Peaches, a late-term abortion is defined as any abortion that takes place after 20 weeks of pregnancy. They have sparked many a debate in state governments.
Now, why would an L term A be necessary?
Well, a late-term AB is often used when the mother's life is threatened or if there's found something wrong to be with the baby. The fetus, no, the small, semi-formed meat.
I see.
Take this story from Rhode Island, where Susan Finch is trying to obtain the rights for a 36-week late-term abortion after it was found in a recent sonogram that her baby was writing on a blog in defense of Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh dear.
It's so hard to say where you draw the line on this one. On one hand, she is in the last couple weeks of her pregnancy, but on the other, what kind of life is this baby expected to lead with this kind of horrible condition? In the words of Susan, I would be willing to keep the baby under any circumstance. Just not the alt-right. Dear God, not the alt-right. Moving.
Now, how would that procedure even work? What would they do?
Well, one common method is to dilate the cervix before evacuating the meat. Another is poisoning the meat before artificially inducing labor. Yet a more controversial method is to pull the meat out by its meat feet until only the head is inside the vagina before inserting scissors into the back of the neck, severing the meat into two bloody pieces of meat.
And the meat, is it? It can't feel anything, not even in the beginning?
Nope, nothing. It can't even form memory at this stage, so if it did feel something, it would easily be forgotten.
What does the doctor wear?
I think we're getting off the rails, Peaches, so let's move on to our next topic. Can you introduce it?
Okay. Does racism really exist, or is it just a myth conjured up by those liberal news story pushers out in society?
Well, we brought a black here to finally answer that question. Jamal, get on out here. Hey. Okay. Come on.
Hi, how are you?
So, Jamal,
Sup?
can I call you Jay?
No.
Okay. So my brother from another mother. Does racism still exist?
Yes.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Well, Peaches, why don't we let him expand on that?
Oh, right. That's cool. I'm chilling. Like a villain.
That's enough, Peaches. So, Jamapi, can you tell us about the most racist experience you have ever witnessed?
Well, wow, that's a hard question. Ever since I was a young kid, I've come across racial profiling. I would be stopped and pulled over by the police on, accusations of drug possession, for example. And I've never done or sold drugs. It would happen a lot to my friends. I guess the hardest thing was the pain of watching my mother fear every day that one of her kids could end up on the news and become a statistic of one of those unarmed black teens, shot dead. Yeah, I don't know if I can pick one specific experience, but I've witnessed a lot.
Wow. I just have one question. Are they special scissors they use to cut the meat spine, or are they regular scissors like the kind you would find at Office Max and or Target?
What? I mean, well, I would assume they would have to be surgical or specially made.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I was also wondering, why
I'm
can't they just...
sorry. That was the first segment, right? We're on this one now. Could we?
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I just had that one question that was really bothering me, but it won't happen again, I promise.
And it's so sad what you've been through. I can't even imagine. But we are running out of time, so wrap it up, home slice.
Okay.
said all I need to say.
Well, we appreciate you coming on this show. Admitting your drug addiction is never easy.
Whoa, I've never done drugs. I've never done drugs.
That's right. Never again. You go, Jafar.
Okay, I am out of here.
Well, he was refreshingly urban, don't you think?
I do, Tobias. But Tobias, before you bring out the next guest, I just have a question about late-term abortions. Several, actually. All I'm picturing is kicking legs in a diaper. Is that accurate?
Remember when we discussed only talking during commercial breaks, Peaches?
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. I just... Okay. Why don't you introduce the next topic, Tobias?
That is what I'm trying to do here, dear. So, auto-erotic asphyxiation. Let's bring out our next guest. Gus, come on out! Hey! Gus, glad to see you're alive and well. It's now been 3 months since you've been released from the hospital after losing consciousness from auto-erotically asphyxiating yourself.
That's correct.
So you like to goose it until you lose it.
Peaches!
I'm sorry.
So, have you always been an autoerotic asphyxiation fanatic?
Well, I think that I discovered that I like choking myself around the time that I was 13.
Why is that?
Well, that's the time I started to masturbate.
Oh my God, Gus!
No.
Oh! We don't like to use that kind of language on this show.
Not at all.
We apologize to the viewers at home. So, that's around the time you started to stroke.
Okay, I just want to interrupt really quickly. I want to go back for a second. I have a question. Do they use a stroking motion to take out the meat?
The meat?
Get your head out of the gutter, Gus. She is talking about fetuses. To answer your question, Peaches, I think it is more of a pulling motion. You see, they take the meat, take it by its meat feet, and pull it through the vagina.
Okay. Now that I understand. So, Gus, do you think about your sister's breast during your wanky-wank time?
What?
Well, I just assume one has to be so screwed up sexually to be performing such a screwed up act. Am I wrong for assuming that, Tobias?
No, not at all. In fact, I was about to ask Gus if he ever dreams about his brother's crank.
No, I do not do any of those things. I am a normal heterosexual man with normal fantasies and a normal sex life. It's just the one kink that I have can escalate to be something really dangerous, an emergency if I'm not careful. That's why I'm here, to discuss this topic before it can...
I'm still not clear on this whole abortion thing. I mean, once they cut the spine, do they just leave the head inside the woman's Jesus palace?
First of all, it's called her holy crap, Peaches. Second of all, no, they don't just leave the head in there. What is she supposed to do? Have a baby later with 2 heads?
Please, Tobias, that would be ridiculous. How could they share the same body but have 2 different fathers?
Well, then why did you ask the question? Get your head out of your ass and pay attention.
Okay, but it is a complicated issue to wrap your head around. I mean, yeah, it's not weird like this Gus guy's choke and stroke method, but still, it is quite the scenario to imagine.
Well, maybe the best thing for you to do is to do some research and we can talk about this later.
But you said that research is for uncharismatic...
So, Gus! When you are receiving pleasure from choking yourself, are you ever in danger of your own life?
Well, I have thought about it after. But in the moment, it feels so good. It's like, even if I were to die, it's like, who cares? It's the best feeling in the world. I could die right now. But then I realize how dangerous it is, dying. Just to get off? What would my family think? What about my fiance?
Hold it. You have a fiance.
Yeah, I do. And she's amazing. She actually helps me continue to,
Just really quickly, if I may.
go on.
Tobias, when they seduce the mother,
It's a date.
when all this is going on, I mean, is she aware of this process? And is there a father present like regular labor, or is that kind not induced?
Jesus Christ, Peaches! Please! Why can't you let somebody speak? I don't understand why you can't wrap your big,
dumbhead around this issue when everyone gets it. The whole world gets it. They all get it and they're laughing at us because you don't. Jesus, sometimes you make me wish it was legal to have a 25-year late-term abortion, so then maybe your mother and I could have something to talk about over Thanksgiving dinner.
Wow. That was harsh, man.
No. He's right. I have no mental pictures for this. But that is no reason to ruin this interview. I'm a journalist, damn it.
Right, sure. Just like Katie Kirk, Peaches.
Exactly. So, Gus, I'm sorry. Please continue going on about your oddly forgiving fiance.
Well, she actually helped me find myself, and it made me more comfortable to talk about this, all the dangers of auto-erotic asphyxiation. And I just think that if there were more people who understood, more understanding people, then they would feel more comfortable to talk about it. And I just think that it's so important that somebody's actually...
Oh, see what they do, Peaches, is they sedate her after inducing labor, and then they crush the head.
Okay. Now, did you say crush the head or crust the head?
What would crush the head even mean?
I don't know. Now all I can picture is a baby's head on top of a pizza being pulled out of a vagina oven.
No, they crush the head and then vacuum it out.
Okay, and this might be a dumb question.
That wouldn't surprise me.
But is it like a Hoover? I mean, I would imagine it's like a specially made vacuum, but what if it's just like a regular vacuum? Like a Hoover?
Yeah. Like a Hoover.
And do they make her wear a hospital gown? And is the doctor doing it a gynecologist or a regular doctor? What is the issue with this again?
Well, what did you think? We hope you found today's episode to be educational, inspirational, and, most importantly, controversial. Please join us tomorrow when we discuss gay adoption.
Is that the same thing as gay abortion?
Peaches!